talking about a home. Talking about me and you. Things we'll do. I said a home. Talking about a home. Not talking about a one-night stand. I wanna be your man. I said a home.
From the people who bring you Charleston Home and Design Magazine, the Charleston Home and Design Show, the Custom Home and Remodel Show, and Charleston's online home show, newhomecharleston.com. This is Talking About a Home. Talking About a Home is a home show on the radio, featuring interviews with local experts, home tips, trends, and ideas you need to know to make your home better. I'm Michael Blaze with 5 Star Real Estate, and this is Talking About a Home.
Good afternoon. I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I want to thank you for listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. In addition to our radio show Talking About a Home, we also publish Charleston Home and Design Magazine, winner of the American Society of Interior Designers Excellence in Design Media Award, and also the American Institute of Architects Charleston Chapter's Honor Award for Journalism. You may also be familiar with the 3 custom home shows we organize. The Charleston Home and Design Show, which takes place every January. Charleston's Open Air Home Show, which takes place every April at Family Circle Stadium on Daniel Island. And the Custom Home and Remodel Show and Hurricane Expo, which takes place every August. Well, today we've got a great show lined up for you. Today's radio show is coming to you from a brand new business just opened up recently in Mount Pleasant called Domain Interiors and Design. And we'll be talking to the principal of Domain Interiors and Design, Bobby Joe Engelby. Also, Michael Gregory with Express Sunrooms will be stopping by. Mandy Pendergrass with Pendergrass Moving Company. Sarah Jacob, Wilson Woodworks, and also Stuart Culler with Carolina Kitchens of Charleston. Well, it's not too early to start thinking about the new year, and we certainly are looking forward to 2014. And one of the biggest events that takes place in January each year is the Charleston Home and Design Show, and we are hard at work lining up all of the different top quality A-list vendors that will be at the Charleston Home and Design Show January 24th through the 26th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. In fact, we are starting to place all of the vendors right now into the different booths that they'll be, and what that means for any home-related companies that owners of home-related companies that might be listening right now is some of the really good spots available are about to disappear, and if there are any home-related companies that cater to affluent homeowners that might be interested in picking up a great deal of business to start the year off right at on the weekend of January 24th through the 26th, they should call us at Charleston Home and Design Magazine right away, so we can get you a really good spot at the Charleston Home and Design Show. And the Charleston Home and Design Show, this will be our 13th year for the Charleston Home and Design Show, and we have got quite a bit planned, and we've got our White Room Challenge and the free design consultations for homeowners, and giving away a room makeover. So lots of really good things taking place at the Charleston Home and Design Show. And if you own a home-related company and you are interested in talking to us about how you can pick up lots and lots of leads for to start your year off right in 2014, give us a call at 843-577-7652. That's 843-577-7652. Have a great weekend. I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I want to thank you for listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. Today's radio show is coming to you from a brand new business just opened up recently in Mount Pleasant called Domain Interiors and Design, located at 652 Coleman Boulevard. Suite 100, and now we're talking to the owner of Domain Interiors and Design, Bobby Jo Engelby. How are you doing, Bobby Jo?
I'm doing great today, thanks.
Good, good. Bobby Jo, briefly tell everybody about Domain Interiors and Design.
Domain Interiors and Design is a full-service design studio located in Mount Pleasant, across the street from Moultrie Middle School. And we also have a retail showroom offering several lines of furniture that are not currently represented anywhere else in the Lowcountry.
Very good, very good. And looking around your showroom here, first of all, it's beautiful. You've really done a great job with this space. And can you kind of paint a picture for our listeners of what they will see when they come to Domain Interiors and Design?
Sure. We are the first gallery for Charleston forged furniture in the United States. And so they're going to find a lot of hand-wrought iron furniture with, you can customize it and pick beautiful hand-finished wood tops, stone tops, glass tops. So you can look at the Charleston Forge. We also carry Calvin Klein Curator, which is Calvin Klein's higher-end, high-fashion line of furniture, and we are the exclusive dealer in the Lowcountry for that line as well. And then you'll see we also carry Stanford and Somerset Bay upholstery, which is another customizable line. You can specify your sofa length by an inch, and we can usually have it ready for you within about 4 to 5 weeks.
That's great. That's great. And looking around at you see several upholstered sofas and chairs with accompanying tables and end tables. Also several bedroom vignettes that you have set up here.
Yes, and we also have we also offer bedding, both pre-made and custom. We have a wonderful line of children's bedding that is locally produced here in Mount Pleasant, called Grits and Grace, that just is a startup company, has taken off like crazy. We also are going to be a Nurasan rug dealer and exclusively carrying their Calvin Klein rugs. And we also have workroom capabilities, so we can do window treatments, both custom, and we can also do shades and shutters and things like that.
And then with your workroom capabilities, you can customize bedding and soft goods like that?
Absolutely. Pillows, any kind of table linens. We can reupholster. We can make headboards for beds.
Nice. Can they buy the fabric from Domain Interiors and Design, or can they bring their own fabrics?
Either is fine. Yeah, certainly. We can special order fabric. We don't really stock it here, but we carry higher, medium to high price lines that are kind of hard to find here, like Schumacher, Osborne and Little. And we also have a complete line of Tebow wallpapers and fabrics.
Very good. Now, Bobby Jo, you are an interior designer by trade, right? And so it's kind of unusual. Most interior designers don't have a full service retail shop like you have here.
Yeah, I have been working as a designer for about 19 years, but I've also I was living in Chicago for several years, and I worked in the merchandise mart there in a showroom, several showrooms there. And I've also worked in sales for manufacturers, where I was the person going out and calling on designers. So I found a need in this town for maybe a little bit more options for some interior furnishings, and I thought this was a good time to try it. With the economy seems to be picking up, lots of new construction, and I was able to partner with some of these fabulous lines and bring them to Charleston in a retail setting. Right,
and that's something that interior designers are known for, is they can help homeowners by selling them different products that they're associated with, but usually they have to the homeowner has to look through catalogs and things like that, or product samples, not full vignettes like you have here at Domain Interiors and Design.
Yeah, that was one of the things I struggled with when I first moved here, is finding a place that I could go, even for myself when I was buying furniture for my new home, a place that I could take myself or a client to, where they could sit in the sofa that I was trying to get them to purchase. there was only so many options. So now I'm just bringing a few more here to town.
Gotcha. Well, talk about some of the things that you as an interior designer can help homeowners with, because I think there's kind of some misconceptions out there about what an interior designer does. I think people sometimes think, well, I could hire an interior designer to help me arrange my furniture at home, but there's much, much more that an interior designer can help a homeowner with.
Well, sometimes I simply go out to someone's home and help them pick paint colors. Or maybe it's one window treatment that they're struggling with. Or sometimes you might start with a complete remodel or new construction, and you start from the very beginning and you're working with maybe the builder, the architect, and the homeowner at the same time. One thing to keep in mind is that sometimes people are afraid of interior designers because they worry that it's either going to cost too much, or they're going to feel pressured into buying things that are outside their budget, or they're worried about the designer maybe not really understanding what they want to achieve. So it's
getting a look in the house that the interior designer likes, but the homeowner may not be what's perfect for the homeowner.
So you need to find, when you're searching for a designer, you need to interview them and take a look at some of their work and see if it kind of fits into the style that you had in mind. Most designers are pretty flexible, though. They can work with many different tastes and budgets. So, but the thing is, I think with a designer that people forget is I see this every day. Someone will come in here and talk about how they've wasted so much money because they thought it was they picked it themselves, or they've been buying things piecemeal and they don't really work together, and that they wish they had hired a designer from the beginning, because in many cases it actually saves you money from costly mistakes.
Right. It's kind of like, I guess you could maybe install a heating and air system at home. That's not really a do-it-yourself project, though. You could try it, but after spending, imagine, okay, I guess I'll get this size compressor and I'll run the ductwork, and then you put all that time and money into it, and then it doesn't work correctly. You call in a professional HVAC contractor, and they say, well, I'm sorry, but you bought the wrong compressor, the wrong size, and this ductwork, we're going to have to tear all that out. It's not going to work. It's almost the same kind of thing as, you can do it yourself. You can try to decorate your house yourself, or pick paint colors yourself, but why not have a professional help you and get it done right the first time, rather than wasting that time and potentially wasting money?
Exactly.
So, how long have you been an interior designer here in the Charleston area?
I've been here 2 years, and I started picking up some design work shortly after I moved here. And it's a lot of residential work. I did a little bit more commercial work, offices, healthcare, when I was in Chicago.
What would you say was your inspiration for opening up Domain Interiors and Design?
My inspiration was finding a place where I could display the products that I loved, that I knew my clients would love. But they needed to see them, to touch them, to feel the quality. And so in a way, I've kind of created my own little showroom here for people to come and see what else they can get.
That's sort of a reflection of your style, is that right?
Reflection my style, but also I've been having come from the manufacturing side of the industry as well, very particular about quality, and I'm trying to focus on U.S.-made companies and smaller, what I would call boutique-type manufacturers that are focusing on, instead of quantity, they're doing quality.
Gotcha. And is there a particular style that Domain Interiors and Design has?
I'd say it's very eclectic and clean. You kind of get that feeling when you walk in. We love to marry modern pieces with classic forms for a fresh and collected feel, and you won't find any matchy stuff here. There's not matching pieces for an entire room. We'd rather have it look a little bit more of a reflection of you, and not what some manufacturer thought would look good together.
Sure. Are there what would you say sets Domain Interiors apart from other furniture stores here in the Charleston area?
Definitely that we are representing smaller, local, and boutique style furniture lines, which translates to more locally and southern made products, as well as shorter production times. And as I mentioned earlier, we're the first gallery for Charleston Forge Furniture, the first Calvin Klein curator retailer in the Low Country, and the first local showroom for Stanford and Somerset Bay Upholstery. And I'm also working with a talented young local craftsman who is designing one-of-a-kind furniture pieces like this table we're sitting at, from solid wood and also from solid pieces of driftwood that has washed ashore from, he picks them up on Sullivan's Island, like pieces of
Nice.
piers, big chunks of,
Yeah, sure.
of dock wood. And he's doing everything custom, and he hand finishes it. And because he's local, there's no freight charges. And we also can get pieces done in as little as 2 to 3 weeks.
Gotcha. All right. Well, do homeowners have to purchase furnishings from Domain Interiors and Design in order to access your interior design services, or will you work with homeowners as an interior designer outside of Domain?
Absolutely. I don't have everything here, so we would definitely resource from other places.
Okay, good deal. Well, tell everybody where Domain Interiors and Design is located and how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, Domain Interiors and Design is at 652 Coleman Boulevard. We're right across the street from Middle School and the Mount Pleasant Farmers Market. And we are open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, and Sunday, 12 to 5. And we're happy to meet with you by appointment as well.
Okay.
And they can reach us by phone at 843-388-0328, or they can visit our website at www.domainmtp.com.
All right, and the MTP is short for Mount Pleasant,
Yes,
right?
you got that. Good.
Good deal. Well, we have been talking with Bobby Joe Engelby, the principal and designer here at Domain Interiors and Design, and thank you so much for hosting today's radio show.
Thanks for being here.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Domain Interiors and Design. A brand new company just opened up here at 652 Coleman Boulevard, Suite 100 in Mount Pleasant, and now we're talking with Michael Gregory with Express Sunrooms. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Good. Michael, tell everybody about Express Sunrooms.
Well, we're a South Carolina licensed residential builder that specializes in pergolas, decks, screen rooms, and sunrooms. That's kind of our niche market. That's the area that we spend the most time in.
Gotcha. Does Express Sunrooms, do you folks, are you associated with any particular manufacturer for your sunrooms, or do you build everything custom, or how does that work?
Well, we do a little bit of both. We have what some people would know as pre-engineered sunrooms, which are actually engineered at the manufacturer, sent in almost like a kit, and it's put together. But the majority of our work is custom sunroom work. We build everything on site to the specs and to the home that we're on the property of.
So if a homeowner wanted a new sunroom to match the exterior of their house exactly, you can kind of customize it so that people will think that sunroom was there all along.
Exactly. I mean, that's the goal of every project, whether it's a deck project or a major sunroom renovation. When we leave, you want that to look like it was always there, so that if your neighbor or a friend or relative comes over for that cookout or that Christmas party, they think that it was there all the time, even though that you did the extra work.
What about some homeowners? Every homeowner, I don't think there's any homeowner out there that does not need more space at home, and so I've seen where a lot of people have decided, let's take that deck that we have outside or that screen porch, and let's convert that to livable space. Is that something that Express Sunrooms can help with?
Oh, absolutely, and that's a pretty common thing. And I think as much of we need extra space, a lot of times we need extra space, but we want a different kind of living area. We want that sunroom open feel, or we want that screen porch so that we have that outdoor experience, or we want that deck so that we can get out there. So I think as much as a person is saying, I need extra space, they're saying, I need extra space, but I don't want just another room of the house. I want something that's different, something that we're going to really spend the time in. And most of the projects that we're building, the homeowner's goal is really to find a project that becomes the most used area of the home.
Mm-hmm. What about now? Oftentimes, when you're putting on a screen porch, there might there might be a need to run some electrical outlets. If you're putting on a sunroom, there might be a need for some additional heating and air conditioning for that room. How does Express Sunrooms handle something like that?
Well, we're turnkey. We obviously do the structure and everything that's on the inside and outside of that, which would include doing the electrical work. We do the heating and air. There's different types of applications that are used for different situations, but we literally take you from beginning to end. When we take on a project, regardless of if it's a small deck project up to a full-fledged sunroom project, we're basically going to take care of everything from your homeowners association, the permitting, the engineering, to building the structure, getting your final inspections, shaking hands at the end, and you're walking in and just enjoying that project.
And while we're on that topic of the timeline, what's the Express Sunrooms no pay guarantee? What's that all about?
Essentially, most companies in the home improvement industry are going to want you to give a third or half of the money down at the time that you sign a contract with them to proceed with whatever project you're doing. At Express Sunrooms, we require no down payments, no money up front. You literally don't pay us a dime until the project is 100% complete. You've looked at it, given us the thumbs up and said, I love it. Thank you, good job, Express Sunrooms. Then that's when we get paid. It gives the homeowner peace of mind. They're not going to bed the night after they decide to take on a project, wondering, are they going to do a good job? Am I going to be happy? Are they going to come back tomorrow? All that worry is taken away from the homeowner through that no pay guarantee.
Gotcha. And I wanted to ask you, how, what sets Express Sunrooms apart from maybe some of the other companies in town that might offer the services to add on a sunroom or pergola or a screen porch, that kind of thing? What sets Express Sunrooms apart?
Well, I think it's a lot of little things that make the difference, more so than one big thing. You'll find, not just with Express Sunrooms, but any great company out there, it's not one thing that makes them great. It's a lot of different things. And in our case, it's things like our no pay guarantee, where there's no money up front, so you sleep good first night. It's things like we have a project manager that's assigned to your project in addition to the guys that are doing the install. Myself, as one of the owners, we go to every job site every single day. We're checking in, looking at things, and we make sure that once that you've given us the thumbs up and said, hey, let's do this, from that moment all the way forward to the very last screw or nail that's done, that you've got eyes on that project, and we're making sure that process is going to be smooth.
Gotcha. Now, we've got the nice weather finally, nice cool weather. People are opening up their windows. If somebody wanted to, say, put on a screen porch on their house and enjoy some of this nice, cool, low country weather, what's involved with something like that? From the time they talk to you to the time it's finished, what time frame are we looking at?
Well, typically, we'll go out and meet with the homeowner and discuss the project and settle in on a size and shape and design. And once you say, yeah, Mike, that's it, let's go. Typically, you have a couple of weeks of getting your homeowners association taken care of and getting the permitting and the engineering in and ordering the material. Once we show up to do the job, you're typically talking about 4 days. 4 days later, you're sitting out there, you're grilling, you're having fun, and you're really enjoying that screen porch. And you're right, Tim, this is the perfect time of year for a screen porch.
Mm-hmm, right. What are there motorized screens? Have I heard about that before?
Yeah, that's a product that's really gaining a lot of popularity. A lot of homeowners have little lanais or little areas on their home, covered porches and stuff like that they like that open, airy feel right outside the pool or whatever. Well, these motorized screens come with a remote control that allows you to lower the screen when you want to have a screened-in area to keep the bugs and stuff out, create a little bit of privacy. But when you don't, you want to have that open, airy feel. Maybe the kids are running around and stuff like that. You just hit the button, the screen goes up. It's a really exciting project that we've taken on.
Are there any options that Express Sunrooms offers to homeowners if they've got a screen porch, but they want to when the weather is really cold, they still want to use that space, but they don't want to get a full-fledged sunroom. Is there any kind of panels or anything that could be put up?
Absolutely. That's a great question, and we hear it quite often, thankfully. A lot of folks have a screen porch, and they'll say, I love my screen porch. We spend time out here. I don't want to give up my screen porch. But at the same time, I want to keep pollen out in the summer. I want to keep the rain out. And when it gets a little bit cooler, I'd like to be able to utilize that area more often. And then instead of going into a full-fledged, full-blown, four-season sunroom with glass windows, we have what's referred to as vinyl panels or easy breeze window systems. They're basically a vinyl that is attached to the existing structure, so there's really no change to the structure, and it allows you to open and close these vinyls. So in the colder months, you put the vinyls up, and they slide up and down. They're permanently there, and you can enjoy the room, keeping it a little bit warmer in the wintertime, or keeping that rain out, or keeping the pollen out. Very popular type of product, and it started out of Florida. It's worked its way up the coast, and we've been installing them for a long time. They're definitely gaining popularity.
And what is I know Express Sunrooms will build you a pergola, but describe what a pergola is.
A lot of times people even have a tough time saying the word pergola. Typically, there's a couple different colors that comes in. You'll see these on the backs of homes. They're basically a white lattice system that gives you shading when you want shading. It's not something for rain protection. And really the thing that if you went out and you talked to 100 homeowners that had pergolas on the back of their homes, I think you would get thumbs up from all of them. And the biggest thing they'll tell you is it helps define an outdoor space. When you stand underneath a pergola, you really feel like, hey, this is where we're supposed to be at. This is where we're supposed to be eating dinner. This is where we're having coffee. This is where we're entertaining and drinking wine and hanging out on the weekends. It really helps define an area. So generally the pergola is to create shading and define your outdoor living space.
But it doesn't have any walls,
No
and
walls.
it's open. It's not screened. Above it's sort of a trellis. Is that right? So you'll get wet if it rains if you're underneath there.
That's right.
But it's I would guess that's a fairly inexpensive thing that you can get put in your backyard too, though.
Yeah, it is, and there's a lot of different shapes and sizes to those things. And like I said, it's really great to define an outdoor living space so that when you go out there, you have somewhere that you're going to have shading. It gives you about 60% shading, so you're not going to block out all the light. And a lot of people will get pergolas because they don't want a covered roof out there that's going to keep light from coming into their homes. You're so careful when you go out to buy a home or build a home to make sure that you got the proper light coming in there. And if you put a porch roof out there, sometimes that takes away light from a key area, a kitchen or a bedroom. You don't want to do that too. And a pergola is the right answer for it.
Gotcha. Well, how can folks get in touch with Express Sunrooms?
Well, they can certainly give us a call at 534-3233, or better yet, they can visit us on the web at expresssunrooms.com. They'll see a gallery of pictures, learn a little bit about our company, and there's certainly a way on there to schedule a free in-home estimate and design consultation as well.
All right, great. Well, we have been talking with Michael Gregory with Express Sunrooms. Thanks so much, Michael.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Domain Interiors and Design. A brand new company has just opened up at 652 Coleman Boulevard, Suite 100 in Mount Pleasant, and now we're talking with Mandy Pendergrass with Pendergrass Moving Company. How are you doing, Mandy?
Doing fine. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Well, Mandy, tell everybody about Pendergrass Moving Company.
Pendergrass Moving Company is a local company. My husband and I have built this company from the ground up. We've been around since 2009. Mark has experience doing in the moving industry for 17 years.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay. So Pendergrass Moving Company, you're a local company. And if someone was moving from the Charleston area to, let's say, the West Coast, is that something Pendergrass Moving Company would be able to help with?
We can certainly help in that aspect. We actually just had a customer that moved to California. We were not able to actually transport their goods. It was not as cost efficient for us to do so, but we did load a container unit for them, and they had their goods shipped that way. But we packed and loaded everything for them and saw them through the process.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's good to know that that homeowners have that option of working with Pendergrass if they're moving out of the area. Although I don't know why anyone would want to move from Charleston. Why should a homeowner hire a moving company like Pendergrass Moving Company to help with a move? I mean, moving is a do-it-yourself project. You get your buddies from work, you give them some pizza, and you're cringing. You've heard some horror stories about that.
There's always horror stories in moving, but Mark always says there's no insurance in pizza and beer. And, we come with experience. Mark's been doing this for a long time. He's seen it, he's done it, and he's able to bring the professional approach to it. You want to make sure that, all of your furniture is moved appropriately.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the pitfalls or some of the experiences you've heard from homeowners that did the moving process themselves and maybe hired Pendergrass afterwards or at a later date?
We have had great response with our services. They say that they would never do that again, that they will always call us to perform the services, and it was much easier of a process when we bring our experience out to them, customer service, and put them first.
Describe what a homeowner will experience. Let's say they're moving. It could be just from their old house that they've owned for a few years to a new house that they're moving into across town or something like that. From kind of start to finish, Pendergrass Moving Company. What will you folks do for that homeowner for that move?
Mark or myself will be the one to answer the phone when you call in. We offer a free estimate. Mark will come out, take a look, walk you through the process of where to begin and how the process will go, offer you an estimate, and work on how much of a move you would like for us to perform for you. We can do as much or as little of the process for you. We offer turnkey services, all the way from packing to the transportation, and if you need storage in between, we offer climate-controlled storage as well.
So if a homeowner, I remember in my early days right out of school, I had a roommate who was a pharmaceutical rep, and he was told he had to move very quickly to another city, and they literally packed up the clothes in his dresser drawers and things like that. Is that something that Pendergrass can do?
We offer that service. We can offer turnkey services. You don't have to touch anything. We can come in as it is, as you live there today. We start packing the entire contents, move it. We can also unpack it and put it back for you.
Gotcha. But a homeowner could do the packing themselves and then just have Pendergrass move, or how many of your customers do that versus having you do it all?
We have a wide variety. We offer just doing the moving services. There are a lot of people that like to save money on the packing and do a lot of the packing themselves, and then will call us to do items such as the kitchen or the breakables, their fine china, artwork, things of the sort, and then just ours for the moving services.
Gotcha. How do you handle breakable items? I mean, is there a plan in place if something does break by accident?
We're fully insured. We actually cover more than what the state requires us to cover. And with Mark's experience, he does a great job taking care of your items.
Mm-hmm. So the homeowner would point out some of the more fragile items, and those are things that Pendergrass takes note of, and then you handle those appropriately?
Exactly.
Okay. What about real big or heavy items like a piano, for example?
We can certainly move that.
Wow. Interesting. What about have you ever had to get creative to get some large object out of a house that it wasn't going to make it down the stairs or through a traditional doorway? I mean, any war stories like that come to mind?
I don't have any war stories, but it does happen more times than you would think. It's always in Charleston, there's small stairwells in a lot of the older homes, and furniture just does not fit up some of the smaller stairwells, and we've had to hoist them before. So, we do whatever it takes that the homeowner would like.
Gotcha.
And go through the process of, exhausting every option to get it where they want it.
Right. What about the staff for Pendergrass? Do you do any kind of screening when you're hiring your staff?
We certainly do. All of our employees are our own employees. We background screen them through SLED. We also run random drug and alcohol testing. Our employees are in your home, touching your things, and we want to make sure that we bring in the best to take care of that for you. And we pride ourselves on having a great crew.
Gotcha. About how many moves in a given month does Pendergrass Moving Company take care of?
In a given month, summer's always the busiest time. Probably 50 moves.
50
on
different
average.
moves. Wow, that's impressive. That requires a lot of coordination and juggling to make all that work.
It does. We try to accommodate everyone's schedule the best that we can.
What if a homeowner is moving and they've got some things that aren't going to fit into their new house, or they're not ready for them to go into the new location where they're moving to? What about storage for those items?
We offer climate-controlled storage. If it's items that they're going to hold on to, if it's items that they would like to get rid of, it does not fit into their new home, into their new setting, we can offer drop-off service to any of the local charities.
That's good. That's good. Well, what are any advice that you could give to homeowners that are looking they've got a move that they're going to be making at some point in the future?
Coordinate and schedule in as far as advance as you can.
How so? Describe that.
Getting on the schedule, we can at least look at, you may not know the exact date that you need to move, but if you let us know that you're anticipating a window, let us get you on the book so that we can make sure that as that time starts booking up, that we can look out for you and your schedule and make sure that we can best accommodate you.
What would you say to a homeowner that is thinking, well, maybe I'm not so sure I should hire a local company. Maybe I should hire a national company versus a local company?
With a local company, Mark and I see to the operations from beginning to end. We're always here. We're always accessible. Whereas a larger company, you may not always be able to get to someone that can actually take action.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with Pendergrass Moving Company.
Pendergrass Moving Company, you can reach us at our website, which is pendergrassmovingcompany.com, or you can call us at 843-971-0919. We're also on Facebook and Google+. You can see reviews of our services there as well.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, we have been talking with Mandy Pendergrass with Pendergrass Moving Company. Thanks so much, Mandy.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Domain Interiors and Design. It's a brand new company just opened up at 652 Coleman Boulevard, Suite 100 in Mount Pleasant. And now we're talking with Sarah Jacobs with Charleston Woodworks. How you doing, Sarah?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Sure. Sarah, tell everybody about Charleston Woodworks.
Well, we're a family-owned company. We've been in the Charleston area since 1979 when my father first opened the business as Jacobs Cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
We've been, growing and changing with Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
We started out doing antique furniture restoration and replicas to now we do, $1 million millwork packages for huge commercial projects and really high-end residential projects.
Very good, very good. Well, describe around the house some of the different areas or products that Charleston Woodworks can help homeowners with.
Okay, we are really what you would call an architectural woodwork shop, which means we do everything that is not structural. We don't do framing and things like that, but we do anything decorative that you see as a finished product. Cabinets, vanities, we do trim, panel products, we do countertops, doors and entryways, all kinds of things. Anything out of wood, and we also do solid surface product.
All right. What about built-ins?
Yeah, we can do built-in furniture. We can actually do freestanding furniture as well.
All right. And what's the difference between built-in furniture and freestanding furniture?
Built-in furniture, what I like to say, it stays with the house.
Okay.
When you move, you take your furniture with you. Built-ins are attached to the home, becomes a part of your home.
Gotcha. So like a common built-in would be maybe Charleston Woodworks could build shelving
Like
maybe on either side of a
custom
fireplace.
bookcases, entertainment centers, that sort of thing. That tends to be the most common thing you think of for built-in furniture.
Gotcha. What are some of the got the holidays coming up? What are some of the quick, small remodeling projects that homeowners could contact Charleston Woodworks to help kind of freshen up the space?
Okay, well, depending on what you have in your home, a really great thing that I personally like to do as a change out makes a huge impact is removing an old mantelpiece and putting in a new one. That creates huge visual impact, and it really doesn't disrupt your day-to-day living like a big remodeling project would. It's pretty out of the way sort of a thing, but when you make the right choices on material and finish, it can make just a stunning change and totally update the look of a whole room or great room, again, depending on your home layout. Another great idea, which is my father, the owner of the company's favorite project, is entryways. It's something that can be switched out in a day. So again, it's minimal impact on your day-to-day living in the home, but it gives you a lot of impact because it changes your curb appeal outside, and it can also bring a lot of impact to your entryway or wherever your front door is, because you can add light where there was none. So there's just a whole lot of options and ways you can go that really give a good punch for not so much money invested.
So you're talking about like all of the woodworking, the trim that goes around,
right?
Your front door,
right? Basically, an entryway would be the casing around the door, any windows that you would like to have surrounding the door, and then the door itself. So there are tons of options.
And the door itself, that's something that Charleston Woodworks, you folks would build?
Yeah,
the
we
door?
do solid wood doors. So if you want to do something traditional like a 6-panel recess panel door, that's something that we can do. Or you can go a full slab door that's really contemporary. But as long as it's solid wood, that's what we do.
And some people have like 8-foot doors rather than just the 6/8 doors, standard doors. Is that something Charleston Woodworks?
The more custom the requirements, the better suited it is to us, honestly.
Nice.
That's where we really excel. Somebody who has, builder grade anything, you can get your stuff from warehouses or big box retailers. People who have custom everything, we can build to suit.
And that's and like a front entryway, you're talking about wood that's going to be exposed to the elements. So what kind of steps does Charleston Woodwork take to protect that front entryway woodwork to make sure that it doesn't rot or anything?
Yeah, that's hugely important in this area too, given the elements that we're exposed to with high heat, high humidity. The first place we start is being very involved in the process of selecting the material right from the get-go. There are certain woods that just won't hold up over time. We like to steer people more in the direction of teak, mahogany, sapele. Those are all really good exterior products that really stand up to the moisture content of the air here in Charleston. And then beyond that, we use specialty finishes that, if you want to see the wood, it's a really good, beautiful, shiny finish that it just brings out all the color and the richness of the wood while giving it a good sealant to protect against, sun and, again, moisture, which are your two big things.
Yeah, and I would imagine that redoing your front entryway, that's really going to leave a good first impression for visitors to your house, and probably one of the best things that someone who might be selling a house could have done to their to improve the look of their house. What other things, if someone was selling their house, what other items has Charleston Woodworks helped homeowners with?
A popular choice for that is always adding trim where there was none. If you have sort of a traditional style home, adding crown molding or building up your base molding is always a great, relatively easy thing because it doesn't involve demolition. It's just adding something in. So again, it kind of keeps the cost at, a relatively low point, and it changes the look of a room rather significantly. You can also change out your cabinet doors. If your kitchen's looking a little bit outdated, instead of gutting it and doing all new cabinetry, you can swap out your door bases, and that, again, great impact for not so much money. So if you're just looking to sort of freshen it up and get buyers interested, that's a great way to make something old look new again.
That's interesting. Now, and Charleston Woodworks, you folks will paint the cabinet boxes as well, or how does that work?
It depends on the kitchen. We can refinish boxes. We've done it before. Typically speaking, most cabinets these days are flush overlay cabinets, which means you really don't see the box once the doors and drawer faces are on. So if you have a standard white kitchen, which is it's super common in Charleston, you can just get white painted doors and make sure they're the same color as your boxes, and you're good to go. All we have to do is come in and pop in the new doors. So that's a real easy change. When
a homeowner calls Charleston Woodworks, do you come out to the house, or how are those things handled? Is it all handled over the phone, or?
We try to do as much as we can over the phone or through email before we do a face-to-face, but we're one of the few companies in town who will come out and do a site visit consultation without charging you up front for it. We like to get an idea for the project, and then if it seems like something that is, something we can work with you on, then we'll set up a meeting, we'll come out, and sometimes it's me, sometimes it's my dad, sometimes it's any of the other extremely qualified people we have working for us, and we'll sit down, spend 20 to 30 minutes, and we can typically turn around a quote within a day or so of that meeting. A lot of projects can be priced based strictly on a phone conversation or through emails with photos these days.
Okay. So moldings, interior and exterior doors, railings, furniture, both built-in furniture and freestanding furniture, mantles, shutters. Are you talking interior shutters or exterior shutters?
Both.
Those are all things that Charleston Woodworks can help a homeowner with.
Absolutely. And again, custom. If you need just a standard decorative shutter, you might be able to get what you want from a Lowe's or Home Depot. If you want something that is really more suited to exactly your style of home and your aesthetic, then we're the right people to come to. And custom really is not as expensive as the word might imply.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with Charleston Woodworks.
Okay. Well, we're located in North Charleston up by the old Navy base, and you can call us at 843-744-0016 or check out our website at www.charlestonwoodwork.com, and we have email contacts and contact me forms on the website.
All right. Very good. Well, we've been talking with Sarah Jacobs with Charleston Woodworks. Thanks so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Domain Interiors and Design, a brand new company just opened up at 652 Coleman Boulevard, Suite 100 in Mount Pleasant. And now we're talking with Stuart Culler with Carolina Kitchens of Charleston. How you doing, Stuart?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. Stuart, tell everybody about Carolina Kitchens of Charleston.
Well, we are specialize in cabinetry, the order and install of cabinetry, and we offer custom design work anywhere in the home that offers cabinetry. So that could be kitchens, bathrooms, offices, closets, built-ins, pretty much anywhere there's a storage need, we can meet that need.
Yeah, and so besides the kitchen and the bathroom, where Carolina Kitchens of Charleston, you folks can help with new cabinetry in the kitchens and baths. Throughout the house, homeowners are being challenged with needing more space and getting more organized, and how has Carolina Kitchens of Charleston helped homeowners with that kind of thing?
Well, that's part of our service. We have 3 full-time designers. So part of our initial meeting is not just going through the aesthetics of, hey, this looks pretty and this is what I want my kitchen to look like, but how does your family function? Who's in the home? Do you entertain a lot? Do you have 4 children? Do you have parents that live with you? Things like that, and what those storage needs entail and that lifestyle entails. And then we design around that.
Gotcha. And like home offices, like what would Carolina Kitchens do for a home office? You'd be perhaps selling them some different base cabinetry with drawers for files and things like that?
Yes, that's correct. And it's a different height. So, than a standard kitchen cabinet, you have to be able to sit comfortably. So we talk, is this just a home organizational office, kids doing homework in this office, or is this someone that works from home, which is becoming much more apparent in today's economy? People have jobs with companies that are in different cities or even different countries, and they're working from home. So what are their needs? Do they have to have special equipment in that office? Do they need a lot of file space, or do they need, their children are in there and they need more craft storage and things like that?
Gotcha. And with the holidays coming up, is there still time? If a homeowner called Carolina Kitchens of Charleston, would there still be enough time to maybe make some of those improvements?
Yes, there will. I mean, if they get in there within the next week or so, we actually could have cabinets installed by Christmas.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Well, let's get back to the kitchen, which is what Carolina Kitchens of Charleston specializes in. What kinds of trends are you seeing? What are homeowners asking for in their new kitchens these days?
Still lots of white kitchens, still lots of real clean limes, but more of a infusion of organic with clean lines. So not a hard-nosed contemporary, that might be very clean, straight-lined type kitchen, but then we'd have an influx of an organic type wood, like a driftwood type finish, or something that's got more of a circular shape or something to it to soften those hard edge lines.
And so white. What other colors are? Is it mostly paint colors, or are people going with stains on their cabinetry?
Lots and lots of paint.
Paint
Tons
colors.
of paint. Blues, grays, some greens, a little bit. Because of where we live, a lot of people are taking their influence from what they see out their window. We have this gorgeous waterfront town.
Right.
And so they're taking from that. But we are seeing some stains with that organic thing I mentioned. So with some of the woods, we're doing kind of gray and whitewashed, weathered-looking woods. Still seeing some of that real dark stain, though, that we've been seeing for the last several years.
And what about mixing colors? I know it's been real popular to maybe have a different color island, for example, than the rest of the cabinetry. Is that kind of thing still taking place?
Extremely popular. Yeah, still very, very popular to change it up. And that's a place to add some fun to your room without committing wholeheartedly to it everywhere.
Right. Now, a homeowner comes to Carolina Kitchens of Charleston. They know they want to get a new kitchen, but they don't know exactly, what options are available. They don't know how to plan the space necessarily. They don't know how to, order the cabinets so that they're not wasting money. They're choosing the cabinetry in the most efficient way. How does Carolina Kitchens of Charleston help them?
We ask them a series of questions, starting, if they have a budget need, if they're building or something, they know, we need to be within this price range, but we want this look, then we'll help guide them. Certain cabinet companies offer certain specials at different times throughout the year, so we'll say, well, in your time frame with what you want, you get the best bang for your buck in this direction, in this line, and that sort of thing. Or, again, back to the needs or something like that of what they need for their space, and then try to tie all that together. So it's all about, needs of the space, how it looks, budget, timeline, things like that. Because sometimes budget's not really the driving force. It's a certain timeline, like they need that new kitchen by Christmas. And so through all those question and answer session in that first meeting, we help them find what's best for them.
What are some of the, I guess, the bells and whistles in the kitchen that maybe a homeowner that has had they're in a 20 or 30-year-old kitchen, a lot has changed since then. What kinds of new features in that new kitchen should they look forward to when they visit Carolina Kitchens of Charleston?
By far the most popular thing is the trash can in the cabinet, not having to sit it out on the floor in the pantry. Sliding shelves, the idea of getting down on your hands and knees to get to the bottom of that base cabinet and the way back to get that pot, that's no longer something we deal with. We want everything to pull forward, easy access. A lot more drawers, a lot of solutions for spices, and thinner shelves for canned goods and utensil storage. Down here we see a lot of kitchens with windows because we have such pretty views. We don't have a lot of wall cabinets, so there's storage to store your plates and bowls in drawers now. And they're designed so that they don't slosh back and forth when you're opening and closing those drawers. It keeps them safe and steady, but yet you don't have to use your wall space for it. You can open up the space into another room or the window, like I mentioned.
And what would you, if there was someone who did a lot of baking, is there anything that comes to mind that Carolina Kitchens of Charleston would help with someone who does a lot of baking?
I've actually helped some professional bakers with their kitchens. So yeah, a countertop height is a real big one. So if they're a baker that rolls out doughs or does things like that, the ergonomics of a comfortable height for that need to be addressed. Storage for all their baking needs, if they don't have a walk-in pantry or something, need to be addressed. So maybe there's a special bread drawer or a drawer where they could keep flour and baking goods like that right at hand. So we don't work with the kitchen triangle you've heard for 30 years.
Sure.
Now it's more about stations. So there's a cleaning station, and if they bake, then maybe we have a baking station, and we address all the cabinets around that area of the kitchen specifically to that need.
Interesting. And what about I know that you didn't even mention this because it's so basic at this point, but the soft close drawers and cabinet doors that.
Everything we offer has that standard now.
You must see homeowners that just their eyes light up when those drawers close nice and easy on their own.
They do, and they do not miss the silverware hearing it slam in the drawer when it closes and things like that. And the doors even have soft close on them now. Yeah,
and then they go home at the holidays to maybe their parents' kitchen or another kitchen, and they go to close that cabinet door, and it doesn't have them in a slam shut, right?
That's exactly right. Our running joke is you can no longer tell your spouse or your child can no longer tell you that they're angry at you by slamming that door or drawer, because it won't work now.
Right. What about homeowners that have small kitchens? Is that something that Carolina Kitchens
Absolutely. Any budget, any size, we can help them.
Gotcha.
I think some of my greatest projects and most fun projects have been the smaller kitchens, because you have to really get creative with your solutions and where you're going to store things, and really get to know the homeowners and what their lifestyle and their needs are, because you only have so many square feet to fit a whole bunch of stuff in. So those really are some of the most fun projects.
What about spaces where maybe there's tall ceilings? Have you done anything that's real vertical?
Oh yes, and in Charleston we have a lot of that. As you know, 10 feet is common. And downtown, 12 feet is not unusual, so you can stack cabinets up, or you work with the builder to drop a soffit, but do it in such a way that it connects with the cabinetry and all looks cohesive as one and doesn't look like it was an afterthought or slapped together.
Well, good. We'll tell everybody how they can get in touch with Carolina Kitchens of Charleston.
We are on Clements Ferry Road, 2491. And our website is www.carolinakitchens.net. We are working on a new one coming soon, and our phone number is 843-856-8255. And I did want to say real quickly, we're going to be in a national publication at the beginning of next year, Kitchen and Bath Idea Magazine. So look for us there on your newsstands at the grocery store and at your bookstore.
Oh, well, congratulations to Carolina Kitchens of Charleston to get that national exposure in Kitchen and Bath Idea magazine. Well, terrific. Well, we have been talking with Stuart Culler with Carolina Kitchens of Charleston. Thanks, Stuart.
Thank you.
I'm talking about a home. Talking about me and you. The things we'll do. I said a home. I'm not talking about a one-night stand. I want to be your man. I said a home.
You've been listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. Talking About a Home is brought to you by the publishers of Charleston Home and Design magazine and the organizers of the Charleston Home and Design Show and the Custom Home and Remodel Show. To make contact with any of the companies featured today, visit newhomecharleston.com, Charleston's online home show, and home to over 200 local home-related companies motivated to work with you.